basically you plant 2 crops in the same field to maximize. What we're trying to do here is maximize the sunlight that the corn gets. Oh boy, not very happy about it. Like, this was just sprayed for weeds last week and it hasn't rained since, so we burned off everything that was up, but the chemistry we put down to hold the weeds back hasn't been activated because it hasn't rained. So now we've got more weeds coming that we're not going to be able to have to spray again. It was borderline almost too wet when we planted this, but when it's raining every 2 days, you gotta do what you gotta do. And about the worst thing that can happen when you plant it a little too wet is for it to stop raining, which is pretty much exactly what happened. Yeah, so basically the idea behind intercropping, it's not a new system. I mean, it's been around for probably a couple thousand years at this point. But the original idea was you take 3 or 4 crops that complemented each other, and you'd plant one crop, and that crop would put a certain nutrient in the ground, and then you'd plant the next crop, and that crop would do something different. All to feed the crops behind it, essentially. Pretty good idea, really, but it's not ideal, I guess, for large scale. You're probably gonna make 3 trips to this field to harvest it, which obviously is not ideal, but the whole idea is we shouldn't affect the soybean yield hardly at all, and the corn on the outside should be better than what it would be if it was in the middle. So we take the same amount of land, we take the same amount of fixed cost in land, and you spread it over more bushels and lower your cost per bushel, which obviously is the name of the game. You've got some instances where you're talking a 50–75% increase in corn yield on the outside rows, but you get one chance to put it in and get it done right, and if you don't, then you have to live with that the rest of the year. So there's very little window, very little margin for error, and it's expensive. I mean, you go and put this in with the system that we're using. I mean, you're just putting seed out, you know, you're 100, 125, maybe a little less an acre. But if you're doing all the fertility that we're doing, I mean, you're pushing double that at times. And if you go in and screw it up, you either got to tear it up or live with it. So it's okay right now. It's not my best field, but it's not terrible. So yeah, we got a little equipment shuffling to do and get some stuff sprayed. I don't know, we may need to do a little bit of math here and see if we need to replant some beans, I guess. Oh my. Should have left the AC on, man. It's so warm over the winter that a lot of stuff didn't get killed or got going early, and you're gonna fight it all year long. Never-ending battle. Ah, weeds, out of control. You may have less of them, you may have different ones, but you're always gonna have weeds. I'm gonna try to I gotta get some of those beans posted because the weeds are starting to come a little bit. So I've got some bunch of 1 and 2 and 3 inch weeds that I need to get sprayed before they get too much bigger. So I'm gonna set this planter over pretty close to you. So.
This is Corn Wars.
Okay, I think we're ready to move.
Now nothing works.
Corn Wars, so we'll be duking it out. That's right.
So we're kind of down until we figure out what's going on here.
I guess it's what you say, it's in your blood. I started, you know, Jiminy Christmas when I was a child, pretty much, farming. Rented my first farm when I was 13. So I've been at it a long time. This whole valley of mine down here. beans and corn and a little bit of oats and cattle and pasture and all kinds of fun stuff. Competition corn and competition beans. Basically what we're mixing, when we foliar feed on some of this competition stuff, we're mixing some fertilizer and stuff together. Kind of got to do it at the proper time. That's where the rain might help us or hinder us. We're not sure yet. This is hose hell. There's hoses all over the place. Well, where the competition stuff's at. Oh, you'll like it better. Yeah, you'll like it better. So I mean, it's been giddy up and going since it got out of the ground. I mean, it come up fast, but it's way behind. Problem with it getting so much rain earlier, you know, everything got hard then. Just to get packed down, and well, you about got to keep getting some moisture to soften it up so the roots and the plants can grow. Otherwise it's like trying to grow it in a cement road, you know. That don't work very good. I put so much of a product in each one, and now we're just putting water in it. It's like watching paint dry. Well, we've had trouble with we bought a new pump. The pump wasn't performing the way it was supposed to, didn't get near the output. And then we have a computer on the system that took a crap, just like computers will. So they've put a new one of those in, but it still don't seem to be working quite right, or we can't quite get it right yet. So we're going to get some help with it tomorrow, see if we can get it going. But luckily we got that little bit of rain, so it helped us stall the irrigation a little bit. Put this in while I'm actually loading the sprayer, because I've basically got kind of a generic mix in that, and I'll switch between the different loads with different products. I mean, I got corn and bean stuff on there. This is part of a smart field camera system that will measure the stress levels in the crop on a daily basis. So actually it's minute by minute. Helps you figure out what parts of the fields are under stress, or moisture stress, or heat stress. And this communicates with that camera on the tower up there, which is all tied into a weather station and some other things. Hello. Yeah. Looks like we're gonna get a shower. Well, see that little itty bitty band there? That's how some of these summer showers are. Lots of times it just hits, makes a lot of noise and just hits little areas. Flex its muscles a little bit or anything? Yeah. And that's all the irrigation valving and zones where it sends the water different places. The water goes under the road in 2 places here. We had a lot of struggles planting. We could only run a day or 2 at a time, and then we'd be out for a week, sometimes 2 weeks. So like in May, we actually had, I think, 5 days we could run in May. So we didn't get done planting until the 1st of June, which is, I don't think I've ever got done that late, but at least it seems it's trying to play catch up now. But it's definitely behind our normal progress. Every 80 or 90 degree day though helps speed things up, as long as you have adequate moisture. The most thing I know about is all the flooding and wet weather, and as you drive around, a lot of fields look like crap. I'm not gonna spray till evening because it's foliar stuff. So yeah, if it don't rain.
Just gonna move some stuff around here. Used up when he gets done. Not available. Hello, Jake. Hey, this prefix, we can spray that when it's hot. Okay, that's what I was asking. No, it's either going to be now, or I mean, it's either going to be in the next hour, or it's not going to be till tonight when it cools off, probably. Okay, because I can't put it, if I had put the prefix in, I'm going to have to clean it out again, so. Okay. All right, thanks. Jake wants to leave that prefix until it cools off because he's afraid it won't work as good. So I'll just start tonight after it cools off, I guess. And he called Philip. Damn, it says 88 already. Go look at that stuff up at Dallas and find something else to do for a few hours. Good grief. Humidity is like 3 times higher than it was yesterday. I wasn't sweating this much yesterday, I can tell you that. It's variable. I mean, the early planted stuff looks real good. You know, later planted stuff needs a drink pretty bad. I mean, it hadn't rained in 3 weeks. Yeah, we were soaking wet and it rained, you know, on and off for a week and a half, and then it hasn't rained since then. So some of that stuff that got planted in the marginal conditions because it was wet all the time is starting to look pretty tough. Nothing we can do about it except for wait for it to rain, right? But it could rain 2 inches in the next 3 days and you'd be running in the field the next day probably. What's our plan B? We need to go look at a couple fields further away, and it's just too hot to do any foliar work. It's too hot to do anything probably. So when you say high of 90, I would expect that to be in the middle of the afternoon, not 10:33 in the morning. So we'll just eat supper early and do 2 or 3 loads tonight after dark and do 2 or 3 loads in the morning, call it good. Well, the rain would cool it down, or just cooler temperatures. And all we're really looking for is the plant to be open, where it's probably starting to roll now, or the leaves roll up to keep moisture in, and it's not as effective that way. Weeds or plants, either way, it needs to be basically actively growing and get to a certain temperature, it's not going to grow. Hot AF. Yeah, and Cobb's been doing it a little longer too. I mean, he's won it 7 times. Haven't even entered it 7 times, so. Maybe the flood will give me the upper edge. Well, we're ready to take our road trip. Do that, I may jump across the river and eat lunch.
It is dark for this time of day. I'm gonna make myself a quick sandwich, so you don't need to film that, probably. You can kind of see the deck and how it overlooks the fields down there. It's a pretty nice spot. Now we might as well go down there. I'm still kind of betting we might be able to spray. We're only filling that, I can't remember if I told you, like to half because of there's a bad fuel leak. But if we're gonna do that, I gotta mix pretty quick. It's a good idea to shut the power off. I think I want to go load, and then, you know, I'll make the call when I get after I get loaded. Decide if I want to go spray it or not. At least I'll have it loaded. Well, there's only 2 tall sprayers. This is one, and Hagee is one that you can spray full-grown tasseled corn with and put on fungicide. Those deers can't do that. They're not tall enough. Putting on fertilizer and micronutrients and some plant growth regulator and some foo-foo juice and some love. We're giving it some love.
Calf nuts is a delicacy, you know.
We had heat and rain all day, and the weather broke a little bit, and we're foliar feeding, which is better done at night. And actually the perfect time is after a little rain, so the leaf surfaces open up a little bit, and when the heat of the day is gone. So we're actually pretty much going out at a perfect time, and we got no wind, so everything is in our favor right now. You don't get perfect conditions very often. Usually you're kind of in and out of them and try to make it work, and sometimes you spray in not so perfect conditions. Timing is everything also when you're getting everything on. Oh, I prefer the going, yes. I don't like to wait. I'm not a patient man. Ask anybody. Yeah, this is a competition no-till field that I thought we'd try no-till this year. Coming along pretty good. And we're going to give it a little boost, you might say, with some more products. Still hoping for a weather rally like everybody is. And they're calling for a pretty hot summer, so if the rain shuts off in certain areas, it'll make a difference. But it seemed like Illinois got a lot of rain today from what we saw on the radar. Oh yeah, it's not really the nature of a farmer to give up though. I mean, I got pretty good chances for the state of Illinois, I think. I know corn, and as far as even and fast growing, this is pretty darn good.
Much a day in the life. I spend the morning driving around trying to decide what we're going to do. Spend the afternoon talking on the phone trying to get together. about 5 o'clock actually get something done. Call it a Todd Hoffman moment. You know where he's always running around throwing stuff? Same freaking lot. And it got hot fast this morning. It was like 86. I'm like, oh, I should have time to spray one load. By the time I got everything done, it's like 89. I'm like, yep. Not supposed to rain till 5, right? Well, if we get the foliar work done, the Praxor, I knew that wasn't going to fly. I thought maybe the prefix would go, but Jake didn't want to do it either, so. Clouds, rain, ordered up. I think about an inch. Yeah, the next 40 days we're going to start, we'll be doing repetitive applications of nitrogen, sulfur, and potassium. It'll be a lot of stress management if it stays as hot as it is right now. So we'll probably be in the field almost every day, if not every day if it's not raining. So. But other than that, sit and wait, do some crop protection. Tighten up a couple gaskets and we'll be ready to fold it up and load it up, I guess. Yeah, we were soaking wet and it rained, you know, on and off for a week and a half, and then it hasn't rained. We've got 3 or 4 chances the next few days, but as far as how much, I don't know. Nothing to do about it, except for wait for it to rain, right? I mean, if we don't get some rain, we're gonna be in trouble. We looked at all of the contest corn. We looked at the intercrop field today. Everything is progressing nicely from where it was last week, so we're in good shape there. And the contest corn looks phenomenal. I mean, as far as CornWarriors go, y'all better watch out because it's coming. It's coming. So I'm excited about that because it looks really, really good. Rother, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna spank you badly. Just watch out.